Hello, this is the video for comparison of product developments. Um, Cecil. Let's begin. The first project development would be waterfall, which is a well-defined linear stages for system analysis, design construction, testing, and support. It allows it's one direction only. Once you finish with one process, you move on to the next continuously until you finish the project. Um, Strengths of Waterfall is it's great for IT projects because you can easily switch things out. Say if you want to change the router for an office, it's very simple. Just plan out uh, what routers need to be changed, take those old routers out, put the new ones in. Easy one, two, three step process. Suitable for large, high cost projects if it's a large project and has a lot of cost put into it. Um, a large fixed cost put into that project, then you could easily go step through step um, in these well-defined stages and complete the first step thoroughly and correctly without going backwards or redefining the project plan. Disadvantages, though, is not very suited for software development, uh, and it's not the risks involved with the project have to be tightly controlled. Um, Basically meaning that risk have to be monitored at all times, so there is no risk. It's very challenging for projects that are going to evolve midway through or need new features, because then you have to revise the whole plan, and it's supposed to be linear in one direction, not supposed to go back to any other previous steps of the waterfall. It's best applicated for costly projects where the goal of the project needs to be met first before adding additional changes or features. If you wanted to change or add more things to the project, then you would create another waterfall to accomplish those goals and repeat the process until you feel that the project overall is done. Um, but if you wanted, but a better way to do that would be through a spiral. It's a refined version of waterfall, similar to how I was explaining. If you wanted to do a feature instead of just completing the first goal to the end, completing the product to the end, and then adding more things, you would add more things during, you would go back to previous steps and add more things to the project before you finish. It's a spiral. So whereas a waterfall will go one direction, uh, a spiral will go from planning, developing, testing, um, then it'll go back to planning again to check if everything's okay. Last for changes and revisions to the project features, if there needs to be any. If there needs to be a time delay, you could delay the project by a bit more time to add more things to it or change things. Allows is a reasonable in cost and it could be used on software projects. Disadvantages takes more time to develop the project. You go back to previous development stages. You go back to planning and developing, and you need to have the project has to have time for delays if the project isn't open with isn't allowed for open time or allow for delays, and you can't really use Spiral. Best suited for projects allowing time delays and software development projects as well. RUP. RUP is a development process created by IBM, focuses on productivity from every team member, allows for customization, personalization of the unified process. It's adaptive, allows for changes during the product. It produces great results. It's very complex though. Every team member should needs to know how it works to allow it to function correctly, and there's a high amount of risk carried on with it. Um, as you develop everything, you're open to adapting and changing everything as is. Best suited for uh, software projects where there's different components attached to each other, and for large complex problems which can't be solved through one go. You have to continuously address these problems as you develop, and you need a wide available amount of resources. Agile is a iterative increment process that allows for flexibility and involvement with the customer. It's flexible, allows for to make any changes you need. You quickly address any customer needs that are given to you by the customer, and it's continuously improving the project. It's unpredictable though with his time frame. There is no real end goal in sight, um, and the budget is not really set in stone. It could grow, it could shrink depending on how the project progresses. The scale of the project can start small to end up becoming large, or it can start large and end up becoming small. It's unpredictable in that manner. All team members must be familiar with the process of Agile for it to function correctly. Best suited for projects with a large available amount of time and budget and no real uh, set goal in sight. Customer would want involvement with the development process. You see this used a lot with like softwares with a beta system involved, where there's a beta and allows for review from customers to allow the production team to um, fix, repair, or enhance features or the the software. That is all.